If you get numbness or tingling in your fingers or toes, your diet may play a bigger role than you think. In this video, I'll share the top foods to eat and top foods to avoid for a healthy nervous system. So let's get started with what to eat. There are a few key nutrients that you want to make sure that you're including in your diet. And the number one thing that's most likely to cause numbness and tingling in your fingers or toes is a B12 deficiency. It's also one that you're more likely to become deficient in after the age of 50. Key sources of B12 include salmon, eggs, dairy, and fortified cereals. And for that reason, if you're a vegan, you're also more likely to become deficient in B12. And so if you are deficient in B12, it is highly recommended to supplement, particularly if you're over 50 and or a vegan. Next, we'll move on to another B vitamin, and that's B6. B6 is found in chicken, potatoes, bananas, and spinach. And you should note that either too little or too much B6 can be bad for your nervous system. However, you'd have to take a lot of B6 supplements in order to become toxic. It's much more likely that you'll become deficient. So if you're eating a healthy diet rich in chicken, bananas, potatoes, or spinach, you'll probably be okay. The third B vitamin that we'll discuss is B1 or thiamine. People who are deficient in thiamine are more likely to develop peripheral neuropathy, particularly if they have an otherwise poor diet or drink alcohol to excess. Key sources of thiamine include pork, sunflower seeds, black beans, lentils, or fortified cereals. The next nutrient we'll talk about is magnesium. Magnesium is essential for proper nerve and muscle function. And magnesium deficiency can cause numbness or tingling. It can also cause muscle cramps. Key sources of magnesium include leafy greens, nuts and seeds, legumes such as beans or lentils, or whole grains. Next, we'll move on to vitamin D. Vitamin D doesn't directly affect your nerve function, but it does help with the absorption of calcium, which does affect your nerves. The best source of vitamin D is through sun exposure, particularly getting sun exposure to unprotected skin. Dietary sources of vitamin D include fatty fish, eggs, and fortified foods such as milk or orange juice. Next is copper. Copper is a trace mineral that's essential for a healthy spinal cord and nervous system. And if you're deficient, it can cause numbness or even potentially difficulty walking. Key sources of copper include shellfish, liver, nuts, and seeds. And finally, omega-3 fatty acids are also good for your nerves. The key sources of omega-3s are fatty fish, walnuts, and flax seeds. Next, we'll move on to foods to avoid. And the number one group of foods to avoid are foods that are high in sugar and particularly processed sugar. Processed sugars raise your blood sugar, which can put you at risk for diabetes, and persistently elevated blood sugars are bad for your nervous system and can put you at risk for diabetic neuropathy. Along the same lines, refined carbohydrates such as white flour or white bread quickly get converted to glucose, which can also raise your blood sugar. And finally, it's good to avoid consuming alcohol to excess. Not only can that negatively affect your liver, but it can also decrease the absorption of B vitamins, which, as we mentioned earlier, are key to optimal nerve functions. Now, beyond that, other lifestyle habits such as getting enough sleep, staying hydrated, getting a good amount of sunlight for vitamin D, and getting regular aerobic exercise to help control your blood sugar are also good for nervous system function. Beyond just dietary causes of numbness and tingling in your fingers or toes, though, compression of your nerves, either in your spinal cord or in your arms or legs, can also cause numbness and tingling. To learn more about that, check out this video on numbness in the hands and fingers, or this one about numbness in the feet and toes. But before you go, if you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you can get notified of our future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.